What is the oldest bonsai tree that you have here?
We have a bonsai which is an Ezo spruce called Todoroki, which is 1,000 years old.
It is just spectacular.
In the heart of Saitama, a city centrally located in Japan, is where tradition meets artistry, a place of incredible wonder where a deep love of nature is celebrated and displayed for those who venture far enough to see, the Omiya Bonsai Village. This has been on my bucket list of locations to visit for years, and finally I'm getting the chance to cross it off the list. Right now I'm staying in an area called Roppongi Hills, and it takes about an hour subway or train ride to get to Saitama. We got our Starbucks, and now we're catching the train. It's this one here. After a few trains to get out of the hustle and bustle of Tokyo, we arrive in Saitama.
Look at how cute the train station is. They even have little bonsai trees right here. We're so excited. We have a 5-minute walk to go to get to the Omiya Bonsai Art Museum, where we're going to be doing a private tour with our new friend Henry. So let's go meet him. Guys, they have this little place to lock up your umbrellas. It really does rain that much in Japan. Like, how cute is this?
My name is Harry Turton, and I am the coordinator for international relations here at the Omiya Bonsai Art Museum. This museum was opened in 2010 with the hopes of introducing bonsai to people all around the world. Nearby the museum there is the Omiya Bonsai Village, which opened in 1925. It was a bunch of bonsai artists who came together and opened their own gardens within that village. People quite struggled to go into these gardens even though they were open to the public because they didn't really know how to look at bonsai, how to properly appreciate them. It's kind of intimidating just going into a garden like that. So we hope with this museum that people will learn the basics of bonsai and especially how to view them, as there is a specific way to do so, and then they can use the knowledge they get here to then take that to the various gardens in the Bonsai Village.
They have over 160 bonsai trees displayed in their finely manicured collection.
Here in the garden we have around 60 trees always on display. These get slightly rotated depending on the season, but we tend to have the same pine trees out all the time. So this tree here is one of our most famous trees. Now looking at it, does it look like anything to you? Any shapes that come to mind?
Natural or non-natural?
It's hard to say actually, but is there any image that comes to mind?
A wave.
No, it's actually meant to look like a dragon.
A dragon.
Yeah. That's probably hard to say if it's natural or unnatural, as it's mythical there. So the name of the tree is called Seiryu, which means blue dragon.
And what are these little bags on top?
Those are actually empty tea bags with fertilizer inside of them. And this way, whenever the bonsai is watered, it disperses in and gives the bonsai nutrients.
The Omiya Bonsai Museum houses an exquisite collection of these living sculptures, some of which are over a century old.
What is the oldest bonsai tree that you have here?
We have a bonsai which is an Ezo spruce called Todoroki, which is 1,000 years old.
I'm thinking, well, it must be this 150-year-old one, but no, there's one here that's 1,000 years old. Holy, well, I can't wait to see that one. What was the year again that you said the museum opened?
This museum only opened in 2010.
So where did a lot of these trees come from before? Who's been caring for this tree for the past 100 years?
Yes, so most of our collection comes from another collection which already existed called the Takagi collection. We bought those when the museum was opened. And so many of these trees were owned by bonsai artists, bonsai professionals for many, many years beforehand.
One of my favorite bonsai specimens was this Japanese white pine that had a few other plant species growing on the same rock.
I love all the extra little species of plants that are growing on this rock. I feel like that just makes it look so much more natural. Mm-hmm.
The thing about these bonsais is they're not just trees. They're living pieces of history. It's a profound connection to our past.
About how many visitors do you have that come here a year to see the bonsais?
It really depends on the year, of course. Recent years it's been less visitors than usual, but visitors come from all over the world to visit this garden, and we have thousands that come just from America, for example.
Another thing that I learned here at the museum is the proper way to view and appreciate bonsai trees. And that's not by looking straight on at a tree. It's actually by bending down and looking upwards at the roots, at the trunk system and all of the branches.
By bending down and looking upwards into the tree, you're better able to view the magnificent shaping that has slowly been trained by the bonsai artist over years and years to create the stunning twisted allure that you really only ever see in these miniature trained trees. Some branches have what's called shari on them, which means branches that have had bark stripped away.
Traditionally, bonsais do very much have a front and back, but we learned today that some of the best bonsais are meant to be enjoyed from all angles with no obvious front and back. Like this one behind me, which is a Japanese black pine, and it is 250 years old. From the front, it looks like a totally different tree than it does from the side, which almost has the posture of somebody bowing. Another thing that I learned here at the museum is that they do have some fruiting trees. This tree right over here is called the Chinese quince, and it's roughly 150 years old. You can see there are just a couple of fruits on this tree. They are edible, but it's not recommended to eat them. However, the bonsai masters typically like to prune these trees to prevent them from fruiting because, of course, it takes a lot of energy for trees to produce this type of fruit.
We currently have 3 artists here, 3 bonsai professionals who are currently pruning this Japanese black pine. And obviously it's the largest tree we have, also the heaviest tree that we have, and so it takes quite a long time to properly prune it.
How many bonsai artists are employed here at the Omiya Bonsai Museum?
So we actually have 2 that work directly for the museum, and we always have 1 other bonsai artist in who comes from the various gardens in the Bonsai Village.
In order to become what's called a bonsai master, it takes anywhere from 5 to 10 years. Apprentices will spend the first 3 years doing one thing and one thing only: watering. This is because bonsai trees really do require perfected watering methods to thrive. Another niche subset of bonsai is called Suiseki, which was also on display at the Omiya Museum.
Does this Suiseki look like anything to you? If you have to imagine something, it's not something natural, it's something that you might see.
A boat?
That's right, yes.
I love the imagination behind it.
Yeah.
I love the appreciation in the Japanese culture for something as in maybe North America we would consider this, it's just a rock.
Yeah.
But they find a way to just ultimately enjoy and respect the natural beauty of it.
Suiseki is the Japanese art of appreciating naturally formed, unaltered stones that exhibit aesthetic qualities. These stones are often chosen for their resemblance to landscapes, animals, or other objects, and they are displayed on a wooden or lacquered tray. Suiseki enthusiasts appreciate the stones for their inherent beauty, unique shapes, and the emotions they evoke, making it a meditative practice rooted in nature.
Remember that all these are formed naturally, and Suiseki are highly valued if they have not been tampered with at all by human hands. We call those ones that have not been tampered at all ubu, which means pure. Pure, so you want a very pure Suiseki.
Harry also showed me traditional Japanese rooms that would typically be used for tea ceremonies and how they are styled using bonsai and Suiseki.
Now, in these traditional tatami rooms, we have numerous items which are decorated inside to kind of show off these rooms. Traditionally, you would have guests come over to you would greet them in these rooms, maybe serve them tea and a small meal, and you would use these decorations to kind of entertain them and kind of bring a certain feeling or an image into their minds.
Is this method of decorating something that's still practiced today?
Less so, of course, because less people have these traditional type of rooms. There's more Western rooms these days. But you do still see this occasionally, yes.
I love that the bonsai tree is a way to entertain guests. I think that's so fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Harry, for having us today and giving us this unbelievable private tour of the museum. Of course, if you do plan on visiting the Omiya Bonsai Museum, there are tours offered in multiple different languages, and I highly recommend it. One thing that is coming up in the next few years, if you are planning an incredible trip to Japan, is in 2025?
2025.
2025 is the 100th anniversary of the Omiya Bonsai Village. And this literally is a village, isn't it?
Yes, it's a number of gardens together in the village nearby here.
So this is just one of many different gardens in Saitama, in Omiya specifically. So this is just one stop of many on our adventures here in Saitama. Again, I want to thank you so much for having us. This was such an amazing experience, and I'm excited to check out some of the other bonsai gardens in the city.
Thank you very much for coming. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
After the museum, we went off exploring more of the Bonsai Village, which most of the spots did not allow photography or videos to be taken, but the village really felt like a place where time slowed down, a time capsule of sorts where you could just feel the love for bonsai in the air. I stopped into a little coffee shop, and to my utter delight and surprise, they had the most amazing bonsai matcha tiramisu. I basically cried with joy the entire time I ate this. It was just so cute and delicious. They even had a matcha smoothie with a little mini shovel, and I just couldn't resist, so I got this too, and it was just too hard to pass up. I think this is something you can only truly find in the capital of bonsai trees here in Japan. So whether you're a seasonal bonsai enthusiast or just someone seeking a moment of serenity and wonder, the Omiya Bonsai Museum and the Saitama Bonsai Village is the perfect day trip from Tokyo that is worth venturing to immerse yourself in the extraordinary world of bonsai, where nature and artistry intertwine.
Well, that wraps up my time here in Saitama, the capital of bonsai trees here in Japan. I truly cannot believe how much I learned about bonsai trees, and I hope that you did too. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, like, comment down below, maybe let me know what your favorite bonsai tree is, and we will see you in the next video.